Hi, my name is Dan, and this is my channel, Engelgeist. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This is the November 2019 Tarotoscope, or predictive for the month of November for the sign of Pisces. So those with a sun, moon, or rising sign in Pisces would want to watch this video just to get some insight as to what may or may not be happening for you during the month of November. If this reading turns into a love reading, then those with a Venus in Pisces might be interested in watching this video because it may pertain to you. As I'm shuffling the cards, I'm just going to let you know a couple of ways you can support the channel if you are interested and you do like my videos. Please subscribe and hit the bell that notifies you anytime I shoot a video. I do different types of videos. I do a daily live broadcast in the morning. I also do charm readings on Wednesdays and Friday nights, and those are also live, so if you hit the bell, you will be notified. Another way you can support the channel is through following me on Instagram. I'm new to Instagram, but you can find me under Engelgeist 333 and follow me there. All the links are on the link tree that is on the thumbnail of the video. So if you look at that link tree, it also shows you where my business page is on Facebook. If you give that a like and a follow, I would greatly appreciate it. And also, one other way is if you want a personal reading, if anything in this reading, in this monthly predictive, actually rings true or resonates with you and you want further clarification, you can always book a private reading with me through the business page. So that's available to you too. Okay? So let's see what's going on for Pisces in the month of November. So this first card here represents the default setting is what I call it. It's kind of like where you're going to be centered at during the month of November. Kind of your energies, your moods, whatever may shift, but this is sort of where you're going to be centered at or returning to throughout the month. This is sort of like the theme of the month. So this is the Two of Wands, which is the Purity card. This is a beautiful card. It is the element of fire. Wands is the element of fire and spirit. But I think that Pisces are very spiritual individuals, and I think that we definitely have a connection to the other side. This card to me feels like the strengthening of that connection to the other side in the month of November, which I think is actually a good thing for us, a purifying of that connection and a clarity that's being made with that connection to spirit on the other side. This could also be a spiritual connection with another human being or individual, or maybe an alien, you know how freaky ass Pisces get. But it's like this could be read two different ways is basically what I'm saying. This could be the beginnings of a love reading, or we could meet a significant other in the month of November. But I also think that there's definitely a undertone with this card of a connection to the spirit world. So those Pisces that are working on that through meditation, through spirit, like any kind of spiritual work or any sort of practice in that way, this definitely speaks to the fact that this is going to be where our set point is during the month of November, where our focus is going to be, where we need to be looking at. What we need to be focusing on and putting our attention on is purifying that connection and really listening to that connection in the month of November. There's going to be information for the Pisces during this month. Now, the next card is the Foundation card. This card tells me a little bit about the recent past, the foundation as to why these cards are in play today or for this month of November. This is the Three of Wands. Interesting. Which is compassion. Again, another spirit-based card, another card where, whoops, sorry, I'm just trying to keep it away from that flame. Let me fix all this. Of course, the cats want to play with their toys, and the dog wants to chew his bone. Everybody needs to make noise while I'm doing the last of the Tarotoscopes. Anyways, the Three of Wands here, this feels like, to be honest, we've been in this spiritual place of being protected, compassionate towards other, drawing our boundaries, really transforming our space. I feel like working up to this point, we have been, most of all, being compassionate to ourselves and taking care of ourselves in this process, leading up to where we are now able in November to sort of strengthen this relationship we have with ourselves spiritually, and this relationship that we have with spirit, if that makes sense. So the communication that we have in place with spirit. will also really start to strengthen, and it's all due to this sort of internal compassion. Not only have we shown for others, but we've also shown it to ourselves. We've maybe drawn some clear lines in the sand. We've maybe cleared out some you know, relationships or situations that were no longer serving us, and but did it from a place of compassion, not from like sort of revenge, malice, or anger, but just from a place of, you know what, this is no longer good for me, so I am moving on, and doing it in a way that transforms us and sets us up to be in this sort of really beautiful spot for the month of November. Now, the next card is the Spirit or Soul card, and this tells me what the Spirit or Soul is working on. Whoa. Okay, we have the Nine of Wands, which is integrity. So, to me, this is about, I don't know, guys. I'm a Pisces myself, so as I look at these cards, this is really spirit-based this month. This is really about connecting to one's not only spirit, but their own personal integrity, their own connection to themselves. The soul wants us to realize our beauty, our connection to spirit, our clear communication, the beauty that is within there, right? And I feel like this is also definitely a card that speaks to me about connecting with spirit, realizing this our strengths are really in our spiritual selves, and what we know to be true in our heart of hearts, where our compassion resides, where the pureness of our soul and who we are. Our spirit really wants us to wake up and realize that and see the integrity and the strength that is within that. You know, some people will say Pisces are wishy-washy or too emotional or sad. We tend to cry a lot. But you know what? I believe that we are the emotional barometers of the world. We are the sensitive souls. I mean, all of the water signs are sensitive souls, don't get me wrong, but I believe that Pisces have that sort of level of sensitivity and psychicness to them that allows us to touch areas and worlds. Just, we see things in the world through a different set of eyes. And our sensitivities, both psychic and emotional, really shine lights on things and educate others without us even trying. Does that make sense? And so this integrity the card is telling me that it's sort of, our spirit wants us to realize that and to embrace that and to strengthen that and to realize how strong that already is and that exists, and to stay on our path with this compassion and this building of this relationship within ourselves with spirit. Now, the next two cards are what I consider the outside influences. These are things that are influencing us. They're not of us, they are around us. They can be people or events, or sometimes things more vague like energies or belief systems that are having an effect on us during the month of November. So the first one is the Man of Worlds, which is Achiever. So this is about working really hard in the material world to sort of make our desires reality. And I think that there is this whole aspect of these first three cards about being in the spirit or fire realm. Fire is, you know, a very powerful energy, and spirit is also a very powerful energy, although it's not something that we can necessarily touch upon, right? Like we would in the material world. But I really get this distinct impression that as we work this spiritual fire energy throughout the month of November, and we concentrate on what it is we want to make manifest in the material world through that work, we will be able to achieve those goals. There will be opportunities presented to us through hard work and through, giving it the deserved attention that it needs, that we will be able to create and achieve the goals that we want. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it is going to be achievable, and there are going to be opportunities here for us to learn, to have and experience, almost maybe divinely guided opportunities where we jump in, we do the work, and we actually receive the not only the spiritual connection, but also from that we're able to create the material connection or abundance that we need. But again, I am going to say this is not like where it comes like easy peasy, right? This is about putting in the work and doing it. Now, the next card is the other outside influence, and this is also a Worlds card, Six of Worlds. This is synergy. I like this card because it says to me that we're going to, again, through hard work and sort of the balancing of all of everything, we are going to be able to sort of make manifest, again, materially abundance and opportunity. The synergy card to me also feels like synergistic experiences, synchronistic experiences. It makes me think along those lines. So keep an eye out this month for opportunities where hard work can pay off, and also opportunities where like chance meetings, the work that you're doing might be viewed or watched by somebody that you are unaware of, and it may actually bring about a big sea change in what it is you're doing in the world. And from there might stem more work or more opportunity that requires you to work harder. But you have all of this spiritual fire and beauty, like the purity card, compassion and integrity, all following through with us this month, right? So it's pushing us forward. Like this reading is getting me excited for the month of November, to be honest, because these are all things that I sort of feel like, and I usually try not to include myself in the reading, but these are all things that I seek out on a daily, right? Is not only spiritual connection and the strengthening of that and the purifying of that and relating to the world from a place of love and compassion, but also sort of trying to make this my business by doing this on YouTube and offering these tarotoscopes and the picker cards and all of that in an effort to make this my reality and this my career, my job. So I'm reading this and I'm also seeing these cards in reference to my own situation. And to me, it feels like that might be very possible to make forward steps or movements ahead on a material level through connecting to the spiritual. And I'm going to say that what goes for all of you tuning in, not just me, obviously, but for all of you, whatever it is that you want, you can have it through hard work and through finding the right rhythm, the right synergy, and balancing it all correctly. But what you need to do is you need to honor yourself on a spiritual level, give yourself continue to give the compassion out and keep those boundaries clear. Don't let people walk all over you, and purify that connection to your own spirit and to your spirit guides, whatever it is that you're working with, be it angels, or I personally work with angels and my spirit guides, but whatever it is that you're working with that is your higher power, purifying and honoring that connection throughout the month, and really acknowledging where these opportunities are coming from and being grateful for them. They will continue to come, and they will continue to come in, and we will continue to move in a way that is full of spiritual integrity and will propel us forward. Now, this last card is the potential outcome for the month of November. This card, I say potential because we have free will. So if this card is something negative, Pisces, this is the card, we can affect this outcome by making choices and changes to divert ourselves from this happening. We use this card as a warning, essentially, and we can choose alternate paths. But if this is a beneficial card or something we want to see happen, the beauty part is we just kind of keep going in the same way that the cards have predicted or as they are, and we will naturally head towards this outcome. So this is the Woman of Wands. Interesting. This is like the Queen of Wands. And to me and this great tarot reader, she also creates decks, the Crow Tarot and the Wise Dog Tarot. Her name is MJ Cullinane. If you don't know her, follow her. She's amazing. I follow her and I watch her videos daily. But she's also a friend of mine, and she has titled this card as the Beyonce card. And I love that she does that, and I've sort of stolen that from her. This is the Beyonce card. This is Censor. This is the Woman of Wands. This is like taking the Two of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Nine of Wands, and culminating it all, and using our senses, using our intuitive guidance, using our sort of spiritual knowledge to sort of like pursue and sense out what it is we want, and having it, owning it, and doing it from a place of love, protection, authority, authenticity, individuality, and doing it in a way that's specific to us, but also, like, I gotta say, with all the oranges and reds in here, it's making me feel like on spiritual fire in the month of November. And I mean that in a good way. So, like, I feel like through hard work and dedication and trying to find that synergy, like let the universe come to us and give us these opportunities in the material world that allow us to like find that balance and then do the work, we will find ourselves by month's end in a position of spiritual um, authority, in a position of spiritual, like, how do I want to put this? I don't want to say ruler, but we are going to be seated in a position where we can trust our senses, we can trust our spiritual information, we can love people and have the things we want in our lives and be able to create them from a place that is intrinsically us. And I think that's really beautiful, right? And it's all because we stayed with this pure connection. We keep returning back to this connection with ourself, with our guides, with our spirituality, and really feed that. Continue to feed that. That's what our soul wants. Continue to look at the world through those eyes, and then work hard within the world with these as your aspirations or goals. These are at the forefront. These sort of, if you look at these, we have purity, integrity, and compassion, these sort of attributes. They're going to lead us to this Woman of Wands or this Queen of Wands or this, say, Beyonce card by month's end. This is a beautiful reading. It's got me super excited for the month of November. I hope you guys are too. Please like, share, follow, subscribe. Let me know if this made any sense or resonated, or even if it didn't, let me know that too. I look forward to seeing you guys next month. And any suggestions or anything, please feel free. I love my fellow Pisces. You guys are some of the most creative and intuitive people in the world. Get out there, live in integrity and compassion, and love yourself as much as you possibly can. Because sometimes the way the world's set up, they're not even set up to appreciate us in the way that we deserve. And I think that this is what this reading is about, is really realizing exactly what we deserve, and by month's end, understanding that from this Woman of Wands card. All right, I love you guys. Take care and have a great month. Bye-bye.